And we are live, CCW Insider. I can't believe it. I'm in the hosting chair because Blake Chadwick went to the WWE. But CCW Insider Live this week, I have our new co-host on this side. I think. Wait, on this side? No,
One
I
of the
can't get it
sides.
right. Wait, my right hand, this side of me, Lissy Almeida. Lissy, welcome to CCW Insider. How are you feeling?
Nelio, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I know Blake left very big shoes for us, but we're filling them. So really happy to
Yes.
be feeling good.
We're gonna do even better than Blake did. We're gonna do 10
Ooh.
times better. At least I am now. I know Lizzie has had a long day campaigning for Ron DeSantis, but let. How cool is that, right? That is
Wow.
really, really cool.
It was
And
perfect.
guys, during CCW Insider, please feel free to put some comments and questions, and Lisa will answer it to the best of her knowledge. But first and foremost, we have a huge weekend this weekend. I'm really excited. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. I mean, like championship wrestling from Florida. Are you kidding me? We're doing
Yes.
legendary stuff. I'm so excited to be part of it.
Yes, and she's not just saying that because she's contractually obligated to. She's very, very excited. Everybody here is really excited. We've been working on it really hard. It's a Saturday taping and a Sunday taping, and I know there's like a ton of questions. There's a lot of people asking me like, what is going on, and hopefully I can answer some questions about it, and we can sell some tickets. We're really like I've been hanging out. I've been talking in a Boston accent for the last 6 months, but particularly the last 2 days. I've been hanging with the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan. Let's see, where are you originally from, actually?
I'm from Dorchester, which is in Boston. Kevin and I are
Never heard of it.
we're from the same neighborhood. So me
Insane.
and Kevin's connection runs very deep. And I will
I,
say, your Boston accent,
I,
sweet.
thank I don't even want to go there. Yeah, I can tell you're from the same. I think you and Kevin might be cousins. You guys, you act so similarly. Um, Even with a generational gap, I think it's perfect. No, Kevin Sullivan, the executive producer, he's booking the show, and that's a really good place to start in terms of what's the difference with CWF and with CCW. I know a lot of people who are watching this; they're really big fans of the Last Territory. All of you guys probably are, but I hope to find some non-fans to convert them here today. But the vision that you see at CCW a lot of times is my own or is Dan Ackerman's, and I wanted to open it up with Gangrel, with Kevin Sullivan. And Kevin Sullivan, someone who was the booker of WCW during one of the greatest periods of all time. So we're doing some really cool stuff. It's going to feel hopefully it's going to feel very different. Lissy, you will be there on Saturday.
I will. I'll be there wearing bells.
I didn't grow up in Florida. I grew up in Chicago. So
We won't hold that against you. Don't worry.
yeah. So I grew up in Chicago. So it's funny because my early professional wrestling life was confined to WWF Superstars on USA on Saturday mornings. I was allowed one pay-per-view a year. And then when I went to my grandmother's house, she had cable. I think she stole that cable.
Ooh.
I don't know what I don't know if we can still get in trouble for that. What is the statute of limitations on stealing cable in 1993? But in Chicago, she stole cable, and so I got to watch 605 WCW, and it was so cool to see something that was different. So that's kind of one of the things, one of the vibes that we're going for. How did you start watching wrestling, and why do you like wrestling?
I don't like wrestling. I love wrestling. So let's just start there. I think I started watching from birth. I will say one of my earliest memories is actually from wrestling. I remember Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty as the Rockers, and I was such a tomboy when I was growing up. I always wanted to wear my hair out the way that the wrestlers did. I low-key wanted a mullet, but my mom wouldn't agree. Thank God.
Well, now you're free. You're free to wear a mullet, Lizzie.
I'm gonna pass now. I have a
going back.
But yeah, like, I mean, I grew up in a generation of like, I have like 10 boy cousins my age. Like, wrestling was just so cool. And, you know, it was something that we did together with my dad and my uncles. And like, it was just kind of like a family time where we just bonded and watched wrestling together. And then obviously, like we said, I'm from Boston. We went to every show at the Boston Garden. We didn't care if we were sitting all the way up in the nosebleeds. As long as we were there, it was a time.
Random Facebook user said Chicago over Boston, Lissy. So that means I win.
God.
Thank you, random Facebook user. Unfortunately, when it goes through the group, when people are watching through the CCW live group, it just says Facebook user. So it could be the same person who also just said Boston. Boston. Andrew Huntington for the win. Hey, I just moved here. Where can I see independent wrestling in South Florida? It seems like you are being a sock puppet account because that's exactly what I was going to say next. But you're not a sock puppet account. You're a real person, Andrew Huntington. Probably look it up. This Saturday, start time is 6 p.m. for Championship Wrestling. CCW presents Championship Wrestling from Florida. We're here at the CCW Arena, which is in Pompano Beach. You can look it up on ccwrestlingfl.com. And then Sunday is the second day of the taping. But every third Saturday here in Pompano Beach is Breakout. We have the Kumite coming up in April, May, June. And then, of course, we have Bash at the Brew, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Thank you, Andrew, who's probably just a cousin of mine feeding me the right way. But yeah, so that he actually said exactly what I wanted. It really is going to be a really awesome, like Mr. Lou Reardon, who is helps us out backstage here. He's really excited for the big weekend. So thank you, Lou. But my favorite Lou in CCW. Guys, this weekend is going to be really awesome. So get here. I do have a discount code that I'll probably drop at some point during this. So listen up. But some people already bought tickets. Whenever we go live, we sell tickets. So I'm no longer going to drop that code because that guy paid full price. It is not fair to that guy. Thank you, Edward, for buying those tickets right now. But keep buying those tickets. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about with Championship Wrestling in Florida, it's really difficult because like I'm in the driver's seat, Lizzie, right now.
It's okay, brother.
My favorite. One of my favorite wrestling personalities in the world. He's an associate producer. He's a producer for Championship Wrestling from Florida. Mr. Dan Lambert, Mr. American Top Team. Lissy, what are your thoughts with Dan Lambert returning to CCW in total, but coming in to Championship Wrestling from Florida? And what type of role would you like to see a Dan Lambert in?
Well, if you are not a new fan to CCW, you know that Dan Lambert is no stranger to the ring, right? So of course he has all his experience that he brings from American Top Team, super successful on that front. But I had the pleasure of announcing, and I know you were there too, a few months back. Was it last year? Oh my God, time's going by so quickly.
Moving quickly, yeah.
We got to witness Dan have even a hardcore match against Fonzie. Like, so he's gonna be. I see him doing it all. I really see that for him. He's gonna be I feel he's gonna be on the mic. I would love to see him get in the ring. I want to see him roll up his sleeves and get his hands dirty.
Well, I love that because he cut a great promo, and he was talking about how much Championship Wrestling from Florida means to him. So there's a lot of, I know that he has some talent that he would like to introduce. He has, but he's there in an official capacity as well, as someone who's going to make sure that that what we're doing and how we're portraying Championship Wrestling from Florida is to his liking, because he grew up on Gordon Soley. He grew up on Kevin Sullivan, Dusty Rhodes, Jack Briscoe. So we're really excited about that. There's a lot of really cool stuff. I'm going to go to a question before we get back to that.
Question.
You know what? Will CCW be affiliated with NWA Pro Wrestling or United Wrestling Network? That is an awesome question. David Marquez, I know he does watch and look at our stuff. I love you, David. I think him and the NWA are completely separate. There is some cool news with the NWA, I think, dropping soon with some stuff, but I don't want to say anything. But I would love to. And with Championship Wrestling from Florida, I think it's a natural extension. If someone like Billy Corgan would have me, that's a cool thing too. The Smashing Pumpkins. I'm from Chicago. The Smashing Pumpkins and Billy is from Chicago, lives in Chicago. So I think I think Chicago's taking over professional wrestling. So that would be really, really, really cool. But also, it's really cool to see guys like Daisy Kill, Jack Talos, a bunch of our talent that are always on NWA. So just stay tuned, brother. Another one. Will CCW expand beyond Florida and Tennessee? We had that's a great question. What do you think? DC?
I think we already have.
Yeah, we kind of already have.
Yeah.
It's really cool because we were in California and there's a lot of stuff. But honestly, I mean, we've been it's been a slam dunk. Last show in Nashville was a certified sellout. We're back August 19th for Summer Glory. Tickets are selling like crazy, but you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to expand too quickly. So the focus right now is Florida, and the focus right now is Tennessee and Florida Championship Wrestling. That's an awesome question. And I'd like to bring it forward and talk about another announcement. Romeo Cavedo, someone that I met here at CCW, trained at CCW, someone I met here in 2000. Oh my God, 2010, I think.
Don't age yourself.
I feel old now. I feel really, really old. It's funny because he was like a Latin lover gimmick. And now he's like 300 pounds and he hits like you feel him when he hits you. So we're really excited about Romeo, but we're really excited about everybody. There's a list of legends that are coming down. Bruce Owens, who is a season. We were watching Championship Wrestling in Florida and Bruce was there. So, Bruce is a great time. A lot of legends and a lot of guys from the past, but also someone like Damian Fenrir and Alex Chamberlain, Lissy, to expect to see this weekend.
Great.
Who are you most excited
Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
well, I am I'm not gonna age myself like you, but
me too. I think
that it takes a certain you really have to respect that time in wrestling, right? Like we grew up on a product that really doesn't exist anymore. So even just being able to have a little bit of that come into 2023 is just so special and it's just so cool. And I'll just speak from my personal experience. Like, I work with you guys. I'm a ring announcer and I'm a correspondent. I do interviews. Just being able to work with Fonzie and work with Kevin and work with, folks that have been in the business for a long time. Like, it's just a plethora of knowledge that they give me. Just these little tips when Fonzie's like, you look great, kid, but do this. Like, and it's just, and Kevin hypes me up a lot, but he gives me advice too. And, just being able to transcend and bring that time, but also put a modern spin on it, which I'm sure you're gonna do, which is just amazing.
It's actually you hit it right on the head. Is like, and this, like we've been working with Kevin for like 8 months now, or some crazy like amount of time, and going out to dinner with Kevin or like talking to him and just like the knowledge that he's kind of put in to the whole team or at the shows or and I love like it was a slow progression of like he was just like, oh, I'm just happy to be here, kid. We're good. And then all of a sudden now at the end of shows, like I'll see him grabbing guys like and telling them like, like that was garbage. That was like that was the worst thing. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, you're listening to someone who's done this for 40 plus years, who knows 50 plus years, who remembers everything and you're gonna, you better respect that and listen to it. And what's cool is you have you have a leader like Gangrel too, and I think myself and the guys like like the Jackals and the other leaders that make sure that the young guys are listening to this. So I think it's gonna be really, really, really cool. But that is part of it. Is I love the fact that, like, I think you and me, Lissy, we like very similar stuff. We like hard-hitting, good wrestling. Like, I don't like to make wrestling a joke. I want it to be serious. And to have, that around serious, hard-hitting wrestling. And you have Sullivan, you have Gangrel, and then you have Dan Lambert. And Dan Lambert is as real as it gets. Championship Wrestling from Florida this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, ccwrestlingfl.com. You better go grab those tickets. I think that is good for CWF. We can take a couple questions and we can talk about Bash. We can talk about some other things. Lissy, what do you want to talk about? What are you excited about beyond Championship Wrestling from Florida?
Oh my God. I feel like I always get asked, like, what's next for you and whatever. Like, I think it's just, I love being able to just be a part of what we do every week. And I don't think that you don't get enough credit, Nelio, and just the fact that, no, I'm serious, because no, you don't, because I don't see a lot of companies doing what we're doing, right? Like, we put on shows every single weekend.
Yeah.
Like, that is so hard to do. And I think that becoming involved in the business, and I've been with you guys a little bit over a year now, the biggest learnings that I've had are back, behind the curtain with you guys and seeing the production and what it takes to put on shows and all of that. So like, just being able to, have venues that are taking us and we're filling them up, and we're, broadening our horizons, and just taking a new city. We were talking about, when do you want to go to new states or whatever? Like, just one city at a time, one show at a time. It's been like such an amazing ride so far.
You hit it on the head. Is like, I'm shocked at how, so we've done 1 year in Kissimmee. I am shocked. We had the security wouldn't allow us to let more people in. That was like a really cool moment. Cause like, I'm kind of mad, but I'm kind of like, really? Like, that's pretty cool. Like, security's like getting, and if you go to Sun on the Beach, it's a pretty wild place. Like, they're pretty like, it's like dance club, it's a party environment. And when security's like telling me like, bro, you can't, do this anymore. That's a really cool part of what we do, because it's like, you can wrestle in front of 12 people every day, and it's cool and it's great and it's still wrestling, and I love everything about it. But there's just something about pulling an energy from a crowd, Right. So Luther, it's funny, Luther, former, he was a WCW talent and a huge part of early CCW, was the original Big Sexy in WCW. Oh. And Kevin Nash gets there. So when will we run some shows in Jacksonville? I'm gonna tell this story, Steve.
We're getting there, Luther. Hang on.
We're getting there soon. I'd love to have you on some of those shows. I'd love to have Glacier on some of those shows, Luther. But Luther's gimmick was Big Sexy, and he had Big Sexy on his tights and all that type of stuff. And I think he was more of like a worldwide or Saturday Night and that stuff. And Kevin Nash saw that. And like a week and a half later, started calling himself Big Sexy, and the office told Luther to stop Big Sexy. So I don't know if it was. I don't think it was parallel thinking, because you come into a company and you say like, "No, I'm Big Sexy," and then now everyone to this day, Big Sexy Kevin Nash. So thank you, Luther. Yes, soon. I have, it's about venues, and it's about finding the right fit and partnerships with venues. But yeah, like I love that, and yes, there has been talks. I have some offers for Ohio and Kentucky. There's someone who was talking about it, but nothing, until there's a date on the table, don't, I can't, we have to expand very cautiously, but yes. Awesome. CCW is waiting for the talents of Puerto Rico for future events. Pulls us right into Bash of the Brew, because one of my favorite Puerto Rican talents in the entire world is wrestling for the CCW Heavyweight Championship. Bash at the Brew on June 3rd. Mr. Pedro Portillo, I think Puerto Rican Ric Flair. I've known him now for a while. I think he is incredible, and he wrestles the South American, the only South American superstar, Ariel.
You have to let me say it, because
go ahead.
You're just not doing it.
I'm sorry.
The self-proclaimed one and only South American superstar and the CCW World Heavyweight Champion that you deserve.
Perfect. So yes. And then we already have someone who says you have someone who's already critiqued you on your entrance. He gives you a meh on that one.
Well,
champ that we all deserve. But that's Puerto Rican talent. We have Angel Fashion this weekend. Abad is one of my favorite Puerto Rican talents.
Love Abad.
Everyone Puerto Rico loves wrestling, and everybody loves wrestling in Puerto Rico. So I love the amount of awesome talents that are coming into Florida and into TCW, and they have their spot in the last territory. I'd say the Met was for Portillo, I guess. So that was a clarification by the champ. And then, let's see. I already mentioned him, Abad. I have to say Abad is I think probably one of the most talented Puerto Puerto Rican talents out there today. A funny story about Abad. Savio Vega sent us a message, said, "Hey, I'm sending one of my guys there. If you could take care of them." And I was under the impression that Savio meant that it was like he had just trained this guy. So Abad shows up and he and I tell him like, hey man, just jump in and we'll see if we can get you some matches. And he's setting up the ring, he's tearing down the ring, and then probably like the third show, I got him a match, and he was incredible, and he looks like $1 million. I'm like, wow. And then I was talking to him, and I realized that like he had told me he was a former WWC heavyweight, Universal Heavyweight Champion. He had been wrestling for 18 years. I had him do a Brian Cage seminar, and Brian was riding him like a new guy, and Abad just took it all in stride. Like at some point, he could have stopped and told me, like, "Hey, like, I'm not
new to this."
Savio didn't train me now. He trained me 20 something years ago. But that being said, Abad is a machine. He's got amazing size, and he's amazing in the ring. And you'll see him at Bash at the Brew as well. So a lot of Puerto Rican talent in CCW. Got a big thanks for Sean. Sean Lee's always at the Port St. Lucie show. Always watches the live wrestling. And then, will there be female wrestlers on CCW? I don't know. Will there be, Lissy? Like,
what are you talking about?
Willie, what are you talking about? You're on Willie Bowen. You're on the YouTube. You can look right now at the most watched video. Camille, current.
Come on, Willie. Come on.
Come on, Willie. Now, Willie, yes, there's tons, and there's some this weekend. Nicole Lucero and Bunny Moore. And some surprises this weekend for Championship Wrestling from Florida. And before we talk more about the Bash, yes, Nelio, you will be. Don't forget, yes, we have some things going on in Kentucky and Ohio, and we're really, 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 really.
I love excited. That. Don't forget. That was like a little bit like
aggressive, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't forget. You know, Al Snow is watching this right now, and he's so mad. Actually, we're going to talk about the main event of Bash at the Brew. Oh, I just kind of spoiled that it's the main event. But I want to talk about the CCW training facility. Gangrel is on the top of his game. If you've seen him, he looks like $1 million. He's a big part of this weekend. He's a big part of what we do here. He is a world-class trainer. We have world-class athletes. So real quick, a quick thing about the CCW training facility.
Hey, what's up? It is 12 Gauge Paige Van Zant. And as you know, I just transitioned into pro wrestling. And I wouldn't go anywhere else in South Florida other than CCW, where I get to train with David Gangrel.
So you saw, okay, Lissy just left. She's like,
sorry, no, I'm here. Sorry.
She's gone.
No, I'm here.
She went to the restroom on camera. She just
no.
The views would have shot up to like 1,000 if you were.
No, I was fixing my setup. Sorry.
No, as you saw, CCW training facility, you have to sign up now. Sign up right now if you want to be a professional wrestler, a manager, a referee. Get here Monday. Get here right now. But I want to talk about a really, really awesome match that's coming up before we wrap up a little bit. A couple awesome matches, and one of them is Alan S2S Martinez. He is the man. He is one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. He's actually training right now today, and he wrestles the undefeated, possibly undefeatable Meadow, the Bulgarian brute. Oh wait, that's Miro, the Bulgarian Punisher.
Punisher. There you go.
Lissy, tell me about your thoughts on that match.
Well, I think Meadow's just on a warpath right now, right? Like he can't be stopped. Just look at him. But at the same time, Alan has really come into his own. He stepped out from behind Ariel Levy's shadow, so to speak, right? He's doing his own thing, and he's thriving. So I'm really excited to see him, go for a title, but also just to be able to like build himself up and kind of like step into his own, like I said. And I think, Alan's a cruiserweight, but he can take anybody. Like pound for pound, Alan is probably one of the most talented wrestlers on our roster.
Agreed 100%. And I feel the same exact way. The heckler's there. He's there heckling from afar. Now the comments are rolling in, guys. Quit with the profanity, huh? Jeez, crazy. All these pro DeSantis, I think these people are trying to get on your good side, Lissy, with these pro.
Oh, are they? They got to try harder than that.
Yeah. I got to talk about Skits for a second, Sean. Smart, man. Skits is, come on. I love Skits. I love the fact that he's an actual clown.
Yes, I love
like
Skits.
If you're a little kid and you come to the show, he will take a quarter out of your ear and spit water in your face and stuff like that. So
I love Skits because Skits is a little scary. But I love his. Have you heard his voice?
No, I've never talked to him in my
life. My gosh. Okay. Just
no, I have heard his voice. Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's very scary. I'm a little bit afraid of clowns. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this because I don't think you should know that, but yeah.
Yeah, he's a little scary. And then so he's talking about Alan. I believe the word ingrate is being used, so that Facebook user is most likely Lou Spector through the group, but we can't see it here. So Lou, get to work. No. And I guess a few last things before we talk about Bash at the Brew. Bash at the Brew, 29. Can you believe it's been 29?
So
can you believe you've been with us for like a year? And
yes, I feel like I think I started on Bash at the Brew like 13 or 14, like a very low number, and I can't believe that we're already at 29. I tell people all the time when they're like, hey, if I'm in town, I'm going to catch a show. And I'm like, if you're going to catch a CCW show, that is the one. Bash at the Brew, first Saturday of every month at Unbranded Brewing Company. It's honestly like the energy in that room. Like, I can't explain
Kevin Sullivan in that rum. The energy in that rum.
Are you?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You're 100%.
No. But the energy in that room, that building is just, it's just unreal, honestly. Like you don't even know where you are. You're just like, you don't know that if you're in the back of a brewery, you feel like you're in a big arena. Like that's a really big show for me. And I affectionately refer to that as my show because that was the first show that I worked. And, I just love Bash at the Brew.
And you have great presence at Bash. And that is, I always say that's like our pay-per-view that's our A show. That's where everybody just comes to bring it. So if you live in South Florida, if you live in Central Florida, you should drive there. If you don't have a car, you should steal one, and get there and dump it in a nearby lot or something like that. I don't know. Get to Bash at the Brew June 3rd. It's going to be so awesome. And we have an incredible main event for Bash at the Brew. And that main event is a tag match, which I love tag team wrestling. And it's an I Quit match. I'm sure you saw at Anniversary how incredible the tables, ladders, and chairs match. The Crown are incredible. They scored a victory over Chase Stevens and Venetius in Nashville. They are just on a tear. They are monsters, and they are wrestling former CCW tag team champions, American Horror Story, Agony, Alex Ocean. They had a regular match a few months ago at the Bash, but Alex Ocean called them out and they said, this isn't where I strive. So we are so excited. I am so excited at this match. Tell me your thoughts, Lissy.
Well, you said that you love tag team wrestling. I love tag team wrestling. And I'm going to draw back just a little bit more. We're basically the same person.
We're the same. I was going to say, are you me? Oh, it's a mirror. Look at the mirror.
You're better looking. So
no, yeah, exactly. I love the jokingly deprecation. Go on, continue about tag team wrestling.
No, but I love tag team wrestling. I think again, like we grew up in an era, just again drawing back on that time in wrestling, right, where we grew up watching the Hart Foundation, the Rockers, the Legion of Doom, Demolition, like all really good, solid, like actual tag teams. And I think that these two teams that we're going to see coming up at the Brew, they're actual tag teams. Leonis and Maximus, they're brothers. Like you don't know anybody better than your brother. Yeah. Honestly, right? Yep. And then you have the big man Agony, and you have Alex Ocean, who's willing to do anything in the ring. So the two of them.
And there's no
together.
DQ in this I Quit match.
There's
And who's
no
going to quit? Like, I can't imagine all four of these men. I can't imagine who will quit.
I don't know. Let's see how we do. I just can't see anybody quitting. Honestly, I'm really excited for that one.
I want to know who's. I was just as Facebook user, the faceless masses. I'd like to fix that. So
put your name in the comment or in the question.
Oh yeah, you just put dash at least, or we can make it a game. Just put your initials, and I can figure it out. We can. Bash rules. Bash needs a bus. There is a bus. CCW needs a bus. There is a bus driver. So yeah, we should get a bus. I was promised a bus one time. I was promised multiple buses one time. I want my bus.
We want our bus.
We want our bus. The crown is king.
Yes, they are.
But it's mixed. I'm looking at the comments right now, and it's really mixed for crown, for American Horror Story. Guys, Lissy, some final comments. Championship Wrestling from Florida, Saturday, 6 p.m. start time. Here's how it's also going to be different. It's going to feel a lot more like a Raw than a CCW show or like a SmackDown because we're doing live to tape for television. So get here, cheer your butts off. Tickets are available, ccwrestlingfl.com. There's the bus.
There he is.
ccwrestlingfl.com. You go, you buy your tickets. Some people have already bought their tickets while we were on this. Now we're doing the thing where he's doing before. That was Sam. That was Chains. Former CCW wrestler Sam Kendrick Chains. He wrestled MVP in a 4-way and a Christmas tree. What was it called? The Christmas tree match? Chains is about to come in. Explaining VIP. Great. Yeah, VIP. So VIP for this weekend. For all CCW shows are different, but we have a special CWF VIP. And you get a CWF hat. You get the poster that'll be signed by the talents that are on the poster, and then and some other talents, and then you get a really cool Championship Wrestling from Florida T-shirt, and then you get ringside front seating. Okay, my one ask is we do have seat fillers. So I want the number one is going to be a sellout by Saturday. But when you get up to go to the bathroom, someone will be in your seat, and you just switch off with them. But you get a VIP, and whoever is this is VIP. Thank you.
Thank you, VIP.
Or that is your initials, and you're messing with me. For other CCW shows, it's just the poster. But I'm thinking about some other an early entry to get the poster signed. I'm also pre-signing the posters now. So if you do come later than the meet and greet, the early meet and greets, you will get that. This is a guy who used to train here. Named Phil. He wrestled Agony, and he's still nightmares. Get him crowned. He also wrestled the crown one time, and I'm sure you still have nightmares there. So, but I'm glad somebody asked about the VIP. So you have VIP options, you have general options. Saturday, which is in 2 days, so you have to buy your tickets now because it's flying. Saturday is CCW presents Championship Wrestling from Florida. Doors are at 5:00. Special entry for VIP at 4:00. Bell time is 6:00. Sunday, the same things, 4:00. Doors open at 3:00. VIP 2:00. So get here. There's a lot of cool fan fest stuff. There's going to be food. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff this weekend. And I'm really excited for it. I'm also excited to be able to normally I'm in everybody's face. I mean, I know I'm gonna.
No, not you.
I'm in everybody's face, really, but I'm gonna let the greatest booker in wrestling history, Kevin Sullivan, of all time, kind of be front and center yelling at the wrestlers. So I'll just be around, hanging out, shaking hands, and probably going insane inside my head like normal. But that being said, I'm really, really excited. Bash at the Brew, June 3rd. Buy your tickets right now for that amazing card that's already together. Kumite, get your Kumite tickets. The Kumite is going to sell out. We already have half of the building sold for Kumite. That's going to be awesome. And a cat has entered the green. Let me see that cat.
Ducky has entered the chat, guys.
Look at his green eyes. They're green eyes. Incredible. Lissy, any final thoughts? We'll be back next week before Bash. Not maybe Lissy won't because she's moving to Helsinki.
Yes, I am.
But
Just kidding. I'll be back.
Any thoughts? Any final thoughts before we say goodbye? Oh, look,
No, just I mean, honestly, just really
Jody.
Aw.
I don't think Jody's online. Otherwise, she'd be like, "Oh, it's Amy saying kitty."
Oh, hi, Amy. Final thoughts. Honestly,
Say
just
cat more before you.
what is happening? Okay, let me get the final thoughts out so that Ducky can have her moment in the sun. No, just honestly, we're all just like working on something that is just really fun to be part of. Can't wait to see everybody. Please at the shows, please feel free to come up, say hi to us, chat with us. We love, getting to meet and greet with the fans after the show. Just, don't be shy. Always ask for a picture. Always ask for, just ask a few questions. We love to talk to you guys, and we love to spread the word about CCW and CWF.
100%. It's something really cool, like accessibility. You can come, you can meet the wrestlers, all that type of really, really cool stuff. And just always Tuesdays, 7:00. We have an awesome episode of Alive next week as well, which is escaping me what it is. I think it might be Moose versus Damien Fenrir. If not, it's I forget what it is, but
it's a banger. It doesn't matter.
It's a banger no matter what. Like this weekend, Saturday, CWF. That's it. I think you guys are the greatest fans in the world. I love what I do. Like I couldn't live.
Couldn't do it without you guys.
Couldn't do it without you guys. Couldn't do it without Miss Lissy Maida, the best ring announcer in the world, the new voice of CCW. Sorry, Blake Howard, if that's your real name, doing great things in WWE. But Lissy's holding it down here for us. And you guys go at home. If you're watching this afterward, ccwrestlingfl.com. You just go and you buy those tickets. All right, now show the cat, Lissy.
You have been watching CCW Insider, produced by Minutes to Bell Time in association with Coastal Championship Wrestling.
How do I end this thing? Oh, here we go.